Hi, everyone, and welcome to Entrepreneurs International Network. My name is Becky Askerland, and I am the organizer here. I am very excited for our speaker here today. Each week, we bring speakers that we know and collaborate with to bring a valuable message or training to entrepreneurs that are here in this space. I appreciate everybody taking the time to join us today. Today, we have Christine Campbell Rapin. I'm going to quick read her bio here for you. Christine Campbell Rapin is a Tell It Like It Is business advisor, mentor, speaker, and three-time international best-selling author. She supports over 400 companies to create combined revenue more than $1 billion, create a client growth engine, and create predictable, frequently, and profitable growth. I would love to bring Christine on and join us.
Awesome.
Hi, Christine. Thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely. Super excited to hear and be here with everybody today. I am ready to light it up, guys. It's time to figure out Business 101.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to hop off. Go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you. Love
Yeah.
seeing so many Calgarians. Hey, Greg, nice to see you here. Guys from Vancouver. I am a Canadian here who's going to help you build an international global business. And I want to tell you how I roll so that there are no surprises. First things first, I'd love for you to all be on camera. Here's something you need to know about being on camera. You'll make more money if you show up present in the meeting. And secondly, I want to serve you in the best way I can. And so this will be interactive. So make sure you're able, if you're sitting, that you can get to your keyboard to engage in this, because it will help me help you to the best of my ability. And I want to help you find more clients. Hands up, who in business here would like a few more clients than they're currently serving? Otherwise, you're in the wrong room. Just want to check, are you all in the right room? Are you in the right room? I want you to know that business growth is elegantly simple, and you don't often hear that. The world is selling you complexity, and boy, are you guys buying it, and you're going broke on that journey. I want to take this to simplicity, and I want to help you know what to focus on, what foundations grow every business on the planet, whether you're a freelancer, solopreneur, small business, or have aspirations of building a really big global empire. And I want to talk to you about winning short term, not just winning someday, but in the very near future. So let's kick it off. I want to take a spark in the room and ask you, we're 7 months into the year. Are you where you want to be in your business? If things are on track, I'm making my numbers, the year goal I set January 1, 2025 is on track. I want you to pop in the chat that you're a green light. Things are working well, systems are running, all wheels on the bus, going forward momentum. Tell me if you're a green light in your business. If you're, on the other hand, a little bit of amber, a little bit of caution, some things are working, but truthfully, you are not 100% certain that you can hit the number you set at the start of the year. You're a little wobbly, you're in the room, you need a course correction, something isn't perfect that guarantees you're going to hit your number based on what you decided was your measure of success for the year. I want you to own you're an amber or a yellow. And if you're feeling I'm at a stalled light, I'm not where I want to be, this has been a tougher year than I anticipated, I am a little uncertain, bit of a lead might be in my stomach, I want you to say I'm red and say right now, I'm just starting from a red light. And it's 100% okay to be a green light, to be an amber light, and to be a red light, because all of us will be at all three in our business in different seasons. So I want to thank you for your honesty. We do have a mix of people in the room. We have people in the green light. We have people that are saying, I am good but wobbly. And other people are saying, I'm starting. And truthfully, maybe I need to start again. And here's what I want you to know. And I want you to pop this in the chat, is that I am a problem solver. Because business ownership, in its very simplest form, is a commitment to being a problem solver. For every problem that is solved, plot twist here, you're going to create another problem. And that problem itself wants to be solved and needs to be solved. So I want you to pop it in the chat if you're committed to being a problem solver. And that means green light getting to faster green, amber light getting to green, and red light going all the way through amber to green light. And I'm going to show you how to solve the problem of finding clients, because clients are, in fact, looking for you right now. So I love that Jackie's a problem solver. Miranda is going to be a problem solver. Come on, guys. If you are going to solve this problem, it starts by you deciding to lead yourself to solve the problem. James Kieran is going to solve the problem. Jonathan Sherman is going to solve the problem. Who else is going to solve this problem? Because truthfully, nobody's going to solve it for you. I will give you all the knowledge to solve this, but if you do diddly squat, guess what? You have the same problem you started with. I love this. I solve so many problems. So I am inviting you to take a reality check. If you want off the roller coaster of income permanently, that means predictable, frequent, and profitable client growth, you must do two things. Set your business up to run like a business and actually run it like a business. Otherwise, you are constantly setting your butt on fire. And I want none of you to be people who voluntarily set their butt on fire. I want you to step into being a problem solver, which means set the business up to run like an engine and run the systems to create the client growth that you want. And I'm going to promise you today in our session 3 things. I'm going to show you how to step off the roller coaster. I'm going to actually show you Business 101. And I said, the world is selling you complexity. You've probably bought it, maybe more than once. And I am going to set the record straight. Every business on the planet, from the freelancer, mom and pop shop, and solopreneur to the 5th largest company on the planet that I've worked with and alongside, has the same 3 problems. So if it feels like I am constantly solving problems, guess what? You're a problem solver. It's okay. Number 1, I need more leads. So if your big problem right now is leads, tell me in the chat, I have a lead problem. Second big problem clients always have is I have a sales problem. I may have leads, but I'm not converting. I need to convert more. I'm not getting enough offers out there. I have a leads or a sales problem, and maybe both. Third problem every business has is consistency. We're really good in short term. We're really not great about sustainability, and that's why we have to orchestrate it. So every business has 3 problems. Leads. I see lots of people owning a leads problem. I have lots of people saying they have a sales problem. Here's what I will tell everybody who has a leads problem. I have a program that solves this in 30 days or less. You should talk to me about it. Secondly, more important is once you solve the leads problem, you're going to migrate to a sales problem. You got to solve that too. And the big win is that you know how to run a business and you have the commitment to go make a win every day that you're playing. So here's what I believe about simplicity. First things first, cut the BS. You need to own where you are. You need to solve the problem that's before you, and nobody will solve it for you. You have to be the spark of your own problem solving. You have to initiate looking for solutions, but here's the cool bit. You don't have to play entrepreneurship by yourself. There's a whole bunch of people, myself included, that are part of your fuel sources that will help you. I've helped people create $1 billion in revenue over the last 30 years. I know how to build businesses. You can use the tools I will share to win in the marketplace. You can use the entrepreneur network and the people in this room as fuel sources, but none of us can be the spark of your business dream. You have to want it for you. So cut your BS and be honest about where you are. And I want you to be like the horses that ran in Calgary Stampede this week. Put your blinders on, pick your lane, and run your race. You don't have to do all things. You don't have to do it complex. You don't have to buy into that narrative in the marketplace, because truthfully, what moves business is people. A simple conversation is the fastest path to cash. Make no mistake. You cannot shortcut doing the work. Can you make it easier? Yes. But do you still have to do the work? Yes. So when, as much as you were committed to doing the problem solving, I need you to commit. I will do what's required. So pop it in the chat if you're actually going to build your business. I will do what is required. Tell me, are you going to do the work? Because if you're not doing the work, you're in the wrong room. Simply put, you're in the wrong room. Heck yes, let's do it. I'm going to do what's required. I will do what's required. I will do what's required. Because let me tell you, this is going to be uncomfortable. Greg Belanger is in the room. He's a past client of mine. He will tell you it's uncomfortable being coached by me because I make them do the work. It is all about movement. So if you can commit to one, you'll win this race. Because the hardest thing about business is actually getting off zero. If you could get off zero predictably, and you could get to one, not 100, not 1,000,000, not 10,000, but if you can commit to get to one, you can win this business. Because one compounded is the eighth wonder of the world, and that is where momentum is found. So can you do one thing? You're going to leave this room doing at least one thing. You told me you're going to do the work, Patrick, Michael. But focus on the one thing. We're going to get you off zero. My number one mantra in my life, and that I mentor my clients on, is do the work, get off zero every single day. And I will tell you, the fastest path to getting what you want is going with somebody who's already been where you want to go. Hiring mentors will shortcut the thing. And let's be clear what a mentor is, because I did not say I was a coach. You want to know exactly what to do, I will tell you what to do next. And Greg Belanger, I love you in the chat. You make me uncomfortable and you suck, but so do I. I help you get the results. I will tell you exactly what to do next. Just pay attention and do the work. So here we are. What kind of business do you want to be? There's only 3 reasons you don't have what you want. Ready to know what they are so you can know what you're solving for? First reason you don't have the business you want is I actually don't know how to do this. Truthfully, just be honest. I'm brand new to the business world, never done this, lived in a different world. I don't know about marketing. I don't know about sales. I have a knowledge problem. There was somebody in our room here that said, I'm just starting. So chances are you could be a number 1. I don't know how to do it. Just being honest. I don't know how to do it. That's okay. It's okay not to know how, but it's a lazy excuse. Straight shooter. It's a lazy excuse to live in the sky's falling, just tell me how, because I could tell you how. I could tell you how. Solve it. But second, the thing that happens is I do know how. I have some level of success. I have been successful. I created at least some money in my business. I'm in some level of know-how. Everybody who was green or amber, you're likely in this camp. I knew how to do this, but truthfully, it's not working as well as I'd like. I want more. I'm able and I'm allowed to want more. But if you knew what to change, are you smart enough to change it? Yes, you are. So if you knew what to change and you didn't change it, you're back at square one. But if you know what to change and you don't change it, you don't want to change it, which is number 3. I know how to do this, and truthfully, I'm my biggest problem. I'm inconsistent. I wait for motivation. I wait for the dog not to eat my breakfast. I wait for it to be sunny. I wait for it to be motivational. I wait, blah, 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 blah. So where are you? Is this a knowledge problem? Is this an effectiveness problem? Or is this a motivational problem? What's going on in your business? Adrian's telling us she lacks confidence. Michael's saying, I've got some fear. What are the first steps? I'm going to tell you exactly what the first steps are, Angela, so hang tight. Where are you? What's the gap you need to solve? Number 3, shiny objects. Yes, Greg, you love your shiny objects. Love it. Well, let's get the blinders on. Here's where you start. Okay. We're halfway through today. I want to know, when you got out of bed, because you chose to get out of bed, you chose to be a business owner today, what was the one thing you thought, if I do this, whatever is, fill in the blank, I do this, I will sleep better tonight. I will close my computer at the end of the day and bed, I moved the needle. What's the one thing on your task list that you think was the most important thing for you to do today? Reality check time. What was your focus? Because most of the problem I see is that you guys are fractured and not focused. You're fragmented, not focused. You don't know what to focus on. Sandra, gold star, making it here. Reaching out to leads, priority projects. What are you working on? There's a million things. Trust me, the world has sold you complexity. It's told you you need a book, a website, SEO, paid ads. You need to be a unicorn. You need to speak. You need to go network. You need to build referrals. It's told you needed to do a million things. What if you didn't? Created $1 billion. What if I'm telling you something controversially different? Your number one priority was to sell something today. I just said that. Yep, I really did. Your number one job is sales. So anything that isn't a sale today is a distraction. Here's where you start. There are 2 things that will predict your revenue in the next 90 days. Here's business 101 according to my track record. 2 things predict your revenue. And on average, regardless of your industry, regardless of your geography, most clients will go from first contact to yes, I will hire you within a 90-day cycle or more. So that means if you are thinking there's no business happening in July, which is where we are today, it's because you didn't focus on getting activity moving in momentum so that it would hit in July. That's why Q2 is the biggest cliffhanger of the entrepreneur world, because when you don't have momentum coming out of Q2, you think, I will take the summer off because I have no clients. It's not true that there's no shoppers, it's that you have no clients. If you stayed in momentum in Q2, Q3 is money-making season. And the reason I asked Iman and the Entrepreneurial Network to do this exactly at this time of year is to prove a point. If I could fire up your engine today, you will have the best Q4 of your business. Do you want that? Here's how you do it. 2 things predict your revenue, and until you have the number of revenue that you want, you do 80% of your day in just this thing. Taking vacate Q3 means no Q4 revenue, 100% true. And if you don't have revenue through Q3, guess what also happens? You get to September and you say 2026 will be my year. What a waste of a great opportunity. So number 1 thing that predicts your revenue is your ability to increase the number of people you're meeting that have the potential to be your buyer. Okay, so I'm not talking about general visibility here. Not all visibility is equal. If you're in rooms who people cannot afford you, is it effective? No. If you're in rooms with people who are not decision makers, is it effective? No. If you're in rooms of enlightenment where all you get is applause instead of revenue, is it effective? No. So my friends, half the challenge that most business owners face is that they don't know who a buyer is and they are in the wrong room. Who feels like right now I might be in the wrong room? Not in this session, but in how you spend your day. Because you're in the right room if you want to solve this problem. So we're going to talk about who's a buyer, hang tight, but this prediction, because nobody told you this, your business is built on strangers. Your business will be built on strangers always. Which means this factor of meeting strangers never goes away. So let's just set expectations clearly. You will always look for more people, more ways, more often, always. This isn't a one and done thing. And I think that's the biggest problem people get. They're like, it's fatiguing to constantly look for clients. Yes, it may be. You can efficiently do it though, and it gets easier. Second piece of the puzzle, money only moves hands if you are making offers. And an offer is not post on social media, buy my stuff. An offer is not, if you want to come talk to me in a few months when I've got my stuff together, come talk to me. An offer is what we will actually make to you in this room, and you're not going to have to spend any money. I'm inviting you to move. I've been making offers throughout this whole program so far. I want you to get into the habit of moving, because here's why. Play to the science. We're biologically wired that if I have 5 yeses, the 6th is 95% certain to be affirmative in its response. So if I can move a buyer and I know who they are and I can make micro offers to them, by the time that they're standing in front of me, they ask this beautiful question. Tell me what it's like to hire you, because I think I need the result you can help me create. How many offers are you actually making? So I need you to audit yourself. What the heck have you been doing for the last 30 days? If you're not sure you're in the right room, that's a tell. We need to move gears and get out of that room. Are you spending time with people who have the capacity, interest, and desire to buy? And truthfully, how many offers have you made? I just came from a group coaching call with my clients just before I came into the session, and I asked, how many offers did you make in the last 30 days? Because they've been with me 6 weeks. The answers were 2 and 4. And I said, does your business sustain itself on 2 and 4? The answer is no. I said, well, you're going to be making a lot more offers this next 7 days. Let's talk about it. So this is a reflection question for if anybody who's a journaler or a reflector and needs some time to process, because I know this is coming at you fast. I want you to screenshot this. What can you do right now to choose to step out of complexity? How can you simplify the hours you're working to do the 2 things I just told you will predict your revenue? Because if you cannot do those 2 things, you're in the wrong game. I'm stuck in complexity. Fire my accountant. You need to do both, spread thin. And in which case, if you're spreading yourself thin, the answer is going to be seriously simple one. Hire somebody who will tell you what to do and just go do what they ask you to do. Because you can't lead yourself when you're spread thin. But so now we know the first piece of the puzzle. Okay, everyone with me? We know the 2 things that predict our revenue. Everything else that you do is a distraction. If it's not that, you're wasting time. But once you have that, I need you to know, what does business run on? Every business on the planet runs on 5 foundations. And you're like, Christine, there's only 3 on the screen. I know. There are 5 foundations I mentor my clients on. Until you master the first 3, 4 and 5 aren't relevant. I'm naturally taking you out of complexity by just giving you the first 3. 4 and 5 are absolutely still there. You want to know what they are? Come ask me. I'll tell you. But here's what it actually takes to run a business. You must be able to identify and attract your next buyer. You have to know who they are, what they want, what will move them, and how to spark curiosity. Most people have no idea who their buyers are. Even companies that make hundreds of thousands of dollars hire me to come in and say, I don't know who my buyer is, and I make money every day. Because you get caught in the room of enlightenment, you get caught in rooms of applause, and you get caught in the room with tire kickers who are not buyers. The number 1 reason people hire me is because my number 1 job as a mentor is to advocate for your buyer, to be the voice of your buyer, to keep you focused on what the buyer needs so that you can get to yes more predictably, frequently, and profitably. But once you can spot them, it only matters if you can move them. And here's the truth. This is a great piece of research that Greg Blanchet introduced me to. It's called the ZMOT for all my Americans. 0 moment of truth is that on average, people are going to research you 7 to 12 touch points before they're visible to you. And once they're visible to you, they will also take 7 to 12 touch points before they're ready to buy. You have to have a plan to keep them moving. You have to have a plan that is human, that enables them to stay on track when they get lost, when they get squirrely, when they go around and around. And you need to keep them pointed at true north. And the true north is you, what you stand for, where you want to play, and how you want to play. So let's be clear. If right now in your marketing, the reason you don't have leads, because I have lots of people say they don't have leads, if the reason you think you don't have leads is because of a tactical problem, and you're thinking another shiny object, another tactic is the answer, Stop it. The tactic works, or you wouldn't have heard about the tactic. The tactic works. It's not the tactic that's the problem. If you are not moving people from curious to paid client, is that you don't have a good roadmap. You're not executing that roadmap. You're not taking small enough steps in the roadmap for people to stay with you. Because when they're following you, the buyer gets to make one key decision. It's the first of many. We talked about many decisions. It's the first decision. Am I in the right room? Yes, I keep moving. No, I look for the exit. Every time you invite me to explore with you another step, I keep going, do I want that? Yes, move forward. No, exit. You repeat that pattern until you say, let me ask you this question. Do you want to solve the problem or keep it? Because the only reason we're in the room is to solve the problem. Because guess what, guys? We're a problem solver. Number 3, you must lead the offer and recognize that value is in the eye of the buyer, not in you justifying yourself. So you need to know what they want. You must lead the offer. And here's the thing, you must get your ask on. Because I told you the number 1 priority of your day was sales, and that means ask. You cannot grow a business if you cannot ask for the sale. You cannot grow a business if you're not willing to receive it either. But this is actually how you grow a business. Every business on the planet needs these 3 foundations. Do you have them? Question. And right now I want to pop in the chat. Stay with me here. What do you think is your biggest problem right now? Do you know who you're looking for? Do you know how to move them? Or do you know what the offer is? If you don't have the business you want, why? Is it because you don't know who you're looking for, how to move them, or what the offer is? Is it a who, how, or what problem that you must solve first to get moving? Our offer is very customized to a potential question. A question from Maria in the comment chat here. The offer may be customized. The result is universal. And I don't mean universal to everybody, universal to your buyer profile. We offer 3 things in our business, but the result is all the same. I help people find a client growth engine. I help them build the foundations to create repeatable client success. We do it in 3 very customized ways. We do a private mentorship, we do a group program, and we do a 30-day lead sprint. All of those offers have some level of customization with them, but they all lead to the same true north. The offer must lead to the same result, or you're going to confuse your market. Ben, thanks for owning that you own number 2. I have a struggle to move them from curious to paid client. Let's keep going. I want to tell you what a buyer is, because I think sometimes this is not as black and white as we make it. And I was in a session with some clients last week, and I had somebody put up their hand who's been in business a lot of years and said, I don't know if I really know the difference between a contact, a lead, a qualified buyer, and a client. I thought, wow, I don't think you're unique in that answer. I should clarify this. So we're adding this piece in. Buyers, by definition, are decision makers. Okay, if you're talking to somebody who is not yet at a decision-making moment, they're not ready for a money conversation. You're jumping the gun. But decision makers have 3 things going on, and you're looking for all 3 of these to be present before you make a money offer. The whole goal of movement and moving somebody from curious to paid client is that you can assess these 3 things so that when you get to the offer, you're like, you have a problem, I have a solution, we know what the gap is, you're ready. Do you want to talk money? Because if we talk money, I need a decision. Number 1, your buyer, your next client, your next customer, use whatever word you like here. I use buyers because buyers have credit cards. That's the language I like to use. But they know they have a problem. And I can hear somebody saying, but Christine, I want to talk to somebody who doesn't know they have a problem yet. I want to educate them. Can you do it? Yes. Is it a longer pathway? Yeah. Is it more expensive and harder to build demand? Yeah. So I think if you want to make money fast in the next 90 days, don't go to a place where people don't know they have a problem, because you will likely run out of runway. You want to go to a market that's already spending, a market that's already having clients served in it, and you want to tap into demand that already exists. So first off, are you talking to people who know they have a problem? Or are you talking to a someday buyer about a problem that's interesting like wallpaper, but not a current problem? Here's the cool thing about a problem-aware person. Most successful businesses are built around a repeating problem. Do we all know how to get healthy? Yeah. We actually know the fundamentals to get healthy. Do we do it? No, because we suck at consistency. That was the third problem every business must solve. So why do people keep going back into the gym, back into programs, back into health conversations? Because I have a repeating problem and I'm not great at solving it. But here's the cool thing. If somebody has tried to solve a problem before, they've hired a coach, worked with a mentor, bought a course, listened to a podcast, listened to YouTube, asked Aunt Sally on Facebook. Here's what that signals to me. Not disappointment, not fear. I actually click my heels like the lady from The Wizard of Oz, and I say, they're a buyer. That's a good thing, because there's a gap. They have a problem they've tried to solve, but fallen short. And I have one responsibility: spark curiosity about another option. So marketing at its very basic level is about driving curiosity of filling a gap. And I invite in my offers people to explore what I bring to the table as an offer. And I make the buyer have the control and the decision to say, am I in the right room? If yes, keep moving. If no, find the exit. So they're curious. Your number one responsibility as a marketer, and you are a marketer, you own a business, is to spark curiosity. And if they're curious and they have a problem, before I make an offer, I said, how committed are you to change? Because to get a different outcome, we must do what? Physics. Put different inputs at the table. So if you want to fix the problem of your business, my friends, you cannot keep doing the same stuff. It's crazy. It doesn't work that way. More isn't the answer, unless you're at 0, in which case you still have to get to 1. And getting to 1 means then refining 1% a day. But buyers are problem aware, they need support, they're interested, they're curious, and they're committed. So when I say that to you, how many people and what, pop it in the chat here, right now, what's the problem for you? Are you talking to people who are unaware? Are you not sparking curiosity? Or have you not had a conversation around commitment before you made the offer? But why are you not talking to the right people? Because if you aren't sure you're in the right room, this will tell you if you're in the right room. Because I want to be in rooms like this one. All of you knew you had a problem with clients or you wouldn't be here. All of you are here to seek knowledge about solving the problem, and you've committed to 30 minutes, 60 minutes, an hour of your time. And it may be the first step of many. So technically, all of you are buyers for us. And I'm aware of that because I've curated this experience, guys. Observe this at 50,000 feet. Problem isn't severe enough for people want to pay. Then you haven't found the right people, because it's not a big enough problem. I want to just distill a marketing myth here, because everyone thinks marketing's hard, and all of you, many of you, not all, many of you said that leads is the problem. Effective marketing leads to qualified buyers. If it doesn't do this, it's broken. Don't do more of the same. Don't post on social media. Don't spend time in rooms. Don't go endlessly through the same loops if you're not getting qualified leads. You don't have to do a million marketing tactics. I actually only do 2 in my business. I have 2 marketing tactics that fuel a very successful business. And they're low tech, old school. I use my lips and my voice. Number 1 is speaking. Number 2 is referrals that I pay for warm introductions, because you didn't get out of bed thinking you needed to hire me today. And I know that. but you have a problem I know how to solve, and I'm sparking your curiosity. If it's a pure entertainment product, just coming back to Ben here, if it's a pure entertainment project, they have to decide that it's worth it relative to their other choices. So maybe it's not a pain-driven conversation, but it's a pleasure-driven maximization. And I think some of the reason why marketing feels so hard for people is that you've been told about a broken model. How many times, put up your hand if you've been told, talk about the pain? We just talked about that with Ben. Talk about the pain, lean on the pain, stand on your last nerve of the pain, criticize the pain, judge the pain, and eventually somebody's going to freaking fire up and go, oh my God, Christine, give me my credit card. Did that ever happen to you? No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way in 2025. And bro marketing isn't helpful. Because what buyers are really looking for is not to be shamed, not to be judged, not to be criticized, but to be seen. That means you need to understand with compassion what they want. You need to sit with them in their want. You need to stir their emotions in a positive way to what they want. You have to show them aspirationally it's possible, and you must rattle the cage that says, you can have it. You must do what it takes to get it. Are you curious? So you want to think about how you're messaging. Because I'm not looking to drag anybody to build a business empire. I'm saying I know how to do it. Do you want to come? The invitation's on the table. And I will talk to every person who I in my business make an offer to. And it's a very direct exchange because I am choosing to hold hands with you to make the result happen. So you don't accidentally become a client. And I'm not going to drag you because I'm a fuel source and you're the spark. So let's talk about what the right side of marketing should look like. To be effective with your messaging, which is to move somebody from curious to paid client, you cannot look and sound like everybody else. ChatGPT and AI is aggregating all the voices of humanity into one boring tone. And you're using it too heavily, if you're using it at all. People need to know what you stand for because you get hired for your opinion. People hire you to forecast a future that has not yet been lived in every product you sell, in every service you deliver. So they're not looking at you to guarantee a future, they're asking you to help navigate it, which means you must have an opinion, you must live your values, and you must call your people. Because I'm clearly, as a seller, inviting people to decide, are you in the right room? But if you look and sound like everybody else, you are lost in the sea of sameness. Beware. And the right visibility matters. And yes, PR world, all visibility is good visibility. But if your goal is client growth, which is what we came here to talk about today, you are only wanting to be highly visible to your next buyer. And if it feels like you're looking for a needle in a haystack, you are. It's actually really true. You are looking for a needle in a haystack. Most of my clients grow their businesses on 5 to 50 clients a year. So you're not looking for millions, you're looking for the few. But the few who want what you stand for, how you want to get there, and they will ask you to guide them to the result. So you've got to think about, does my visibility in the context of buyers move a lead from curious to paid? If not, you got blinders on and we got to correct it. And it's important that you recognize this universal truth. And this is true whether they are selling a problem to solve or an aspiration to have. The value of the result. And people only pay for results, peeps only pay for results. The value of the result has to be higher than the investment. Always. Money doesn't move hand in any other way. So when I say, hey, I want to go into the trip of a lifetime and it's aspirational and it's an entertainment product, I have to go, I could spend $5,000 on this, which Ben is selling, or I could spend $5,000 on something else. What makes me happier? If there's a gap and Ben's product leads, I spend the $5,000 a Ben. In the world of business, people say to me, oh, Christine, it costs money to work with you. I said, yes, it does. It's going to cost you X, but X gets returned with 1 client, 3 client, 5 clients, or 10 clients. Do you believe you can get them on your own? Or would you get them faster working with me? The benefit is higher than the investment. And if it's not, you don't want the business, and I'm not your person. But you have to exchange value and see it from the eye of the buyer. Here's the piece that's really important. You must lead the offer. You have to get your ask on. I said it earlier, I'm going to say it again. Money doesn't move hands if no offer is made, and an offer has to be direct. Do you want to make a decision? Because buyers are decision makers who have a problem, have a curiosity, and are committed to the change. So right now in your business, where is your gap? What do you need to solve? And the same exercise I'm asking of you, you need to ask of your business and your clients, because this is business 101. Without this foundation, you are building a house of cards. Can you hustle to your next client? Yes. Will you sustainably do it? No. I want you to survive in every economic cycle. The goal is a beautiful, stable business for me and every client I serve. Because you got to remember this, Coca-Cola says it's selling Coca-Cola. They've been selling Coca-Cola for forever. Why do they introduce new product? Not to sell a new product, but to remind you you like Coca-Cola. You've got to have a true North Star. And here's the final piece of this puzzle. Right now, please own it in the room. You've been great, highly engaged, and I love that. But right now, are you viewed as a likable expert in your industry, or are you seen as a must-hire? Do people like, comment, and do nothing with your content in terms of asking about the offer? Or do people show up and say, tell me about this program and service, I think I need that result? And I'm not saying that to be a must-hire, you're not liked. But are you friend zoned, or are you seen as a professional hire? Likable, not necessarily a must hire. Thanks, Adrian, for owning that. Who else? Is your energy, I want to be liked, or is your energy, I solve problems? Sandra, also likable. Let me take a wild flyer. I'll be vulnerable. Who here in this room thinks I am a must hire? I'm not saying you have to hire me, qualifier here. But do you believe I know how to solve the problem and that I would be a good person to hire to do this with? Or did you come in here thinking she's a bit sassy, it's a bit direct, and my eyebrows might be singed a bit, but likable isn't the first word I think of when Christine. I think she's a badass business owner and I have a problem to solve. I'm a must hire. Thanks, Ria. Thanks, Sandra. I want you to be clear when you go out into your world. What is the energy you are casting? Because when you're in a sales conversation, we're going to go right back to the beginning. Your number one priority today was sales. Your buyer's more scared than you, if you can believe it. I know often we're scared of selling, but truthfully, your buyer's scarier than you, or more scared. Let's try that in English. You have to be certain about who you are, what you stand for, how you get results, and who you want to play with. Because when somebody is vulnerable enough to say, tell me about your services, tell me about the money I might exchange, they are borrowing your confidence that you know where you're going. So you have to be seen in must-hire energy, because I am really clear to the coach that I pay. I have 2 coaches that I pay big bucks to. They are really clear. I'm smarter than you. You hired me. Stop trying to outthink me. Just do what I said. I'm like, oh my God, just do what they say. And it's really uncomfortable and it really sucks. But God, what happens when I do what they say? Because they're further along than I am. I get better results. You've got to have the certainty in the marketplace. And certainty doesn't come from you journaling. It doesn't come from Tuesday at Starbucks with your favorite notebook. It comes from you being messy, going after more conversations with potential buyers and moving them from curious to paying client. So here's a helpful analogy. If you want to really be effective, which is what we're talking about, effective selling to more people more often, predictably, I like to think of people in 3 lanes of traffic. Imagine yourself on a freeway, 3 lanes. Slow lane, middle lane, fast lane. A slow lane buyer is somebody who sees your service or offering as a billboard on the horizon. You're interesting, but I'm not scrambling for my pen to write down your phone number because it's not an immediate problem I need solved. The problem business owners find themselves in is I get caught talking to someday buyers. I hope this one will be the one that rescues my business. They said they're interested someday. Slow lane buyers should be nurtured, but do not build a whole business around slow lane. You'll run out of runway and go broke. A middle lane buyer is somebody who is currently experiencing the problem you solve. So not a someday, not a horizon, a moment in time of now. And when people are experiencing a problem, they have 2 choices. I can white knuckle my way through this in a pattern that will repeat itself because repeating patterns are good business, or I can solve it. I have 2 choices. Again, remember how simple this can be. 2 problems, solve it, keep it, solve it, keep it, solve it. What do I want to do? And your job is to bump into that, spot the pattern and say, I see you, looks a little uncomfortable. And you can keep the problem or solve the problem. And if you want to solve the problem, are you curious? Because I know how. And they move out of the spin. And if they don't move out of the spin in that moment, you say, no problem, I'm going to wait till the next time this comes up, because if I'm patient, and it will, I can intersect you again and again and again and again. And remember, people don't often take the first offer. Great salespeople close 20 to 30% of the time, which means 70% of the time they didn't get to yes the first time they white knuckled the problem. But if the problem keeps persisting and you keep nurturing and you keep saying you haven't solved the problem, can I stir your curiosity? And eventually they're like, I don't need the small thing, I need the hammer. Help, hire, credit card, exchanged. Middle lane buyers is how you build your bread and butter. Final piece of the puzzle, fast lane. They're the unicorn buyers who have already set themselves on fire, already know they should have solved it 6 months ago, and likely have already vetted you and just say, please be brave enough to make me the offer, because I need to exhale. Unicorn buyers are built when you have a business that's run like a business. I love unicorn clients. I help clients create them. So here's the recap. I'm going to give you something, a free offer, and I'll open it up to questions. But make no mistake, this is Business 101, straight talk. Your number 1 priority is sales. Everything else is a distraction. Can you stay out of distraction by yourself? Yeah. Are you doing a good job of it? Maybe, maybe not. And if you are not great at this, you need a strong mentor who will tell you what to do and keep you out of the distraction. Always remember what you're looking for: problem aware, curious, and committed. Every time you meet somebody new, your number 1 job is to have a gut instinct. Do I think they're a buyer? Yes or no? I take my next step accordingly. And when I see a potential buyer for me that makes them a lead, a person moving towards a decision, I'm thinking about, are they in the slow lane, middle lane, or fast lane, and how do I respond accordingly? You can absolutely have fun. If your business doesn't feel like oxygen, it's not your business. And I want you to be really clear on why you're a must hire, not a likable expert. And I will tell you, do less, but do what you do less of really, really well. I don't have a complicated business. I don't keep complications in my life by choice, because the fundamentals will save us in every economic cycle. Your future client wants only 2 things, and our job as service delivery is to deliver them. Number 1, a predictable result. That's where certainty comes in. I just talked about that. And number 2, they want to have confidence that they made a good decision. The scariest place in the sales cycle is not when money is given. It's actually the moment after. Oh my God, did I make a good decision? You have to ensure you can hold people through their wobble, and you have to be sure you're a good egg. So I want to invite you to something, and Becky, if I can have you drop it into the chat, and then I'll open it up for invitation and some questions. So I want to invite you to have my brain on your business. Would that be a good thing? My brain on your business. I want to invite you to a More Buyers Breakthrough session. This is me actually helping you figure out what is your one next step that you need to take. What is the biggest problem you need to solve so that you can step into, I'm a problem solver, and do the work. If we're not already connected, my favorite platform to play on is LinkedIn. Come find me. Christine Campbell Rapin, I'm the only one there, so come find me. This is my phone number. If you need help, call me. And I mean that literally. Call me, send me a message, and come connect to me. Business growth is elegantly simple. When you came into this room today, you said, I'm a problem solver. Hands up if you feel you know what problem you now need to go solve. Did we deliver on what we promised? A big result? Knowing what to focus on? And if you don't yet have that certainty, this is not a paid call. This is a free call I'm offering you for being here. It's 30 minutes of my time. It's worth $500 to go do it. Book it now. It's the only opportunity you get to do it. And do you have questions? How can I be of service? I'm happy to take any questions of our last 10 minutes. You're still here. What do you need? What's my process for finding speaking engagements? Great question. So I said, speaking was my number one strategy to grow businesses because I am 100% aware my services get retained through experience. When I first started my business, I speak on average right now 100 times a year. That does not include my top rated podcast, which I release episodes weekly. It's called Amplify Your Marketing Message. And when I first started my speaking commitment, I set aside in my scheduled calendar 2 30-minute blocks of time every single week to find speaking opportunities. The first thing I did was told my network at least every couple of weeks, I am a person who delivers this results, and I deliver it through speaking. Notice the orientation of that. I didn't say, hey, I'm a speaker. I said, I deliver this result and I do it through speaking. Who do you know who would value my services? I told my network, and I spent 2 30-minute blocks applying for speaking opportunities every single week. Because my coach told me this 3 years ago, 48 speaking opportunities of the right kind where your buyers are in the room will create you $1 million business. So that's how I do it. Where do you start? Tell people what result you stand for and that you're a speaker, and then go start applying. Jackie, if you're asking if this is a paid call, I think that might be the question you're asking for. The answer is no. This is a free call. There's no cost to it. The value is $500. So it is not a paid call. You do not have to pay to have it. Just so I'm clear on that language. Podcasting, Greg. So Greg is asking in the chat, what role did podcasting play in your business development? It was really important, and it continues to be a strategic priority for me. And here's why. It is important for you to establish what your opinion is. And the fastest way to establish your opinion is podcasting. Because you will either choose to be a guest and or a host. When you first start out, the reason you get invited onto somebody else's platform is to share what? Your opinion and your expertise. If you choose to host your own platform, you curate entirely the dialogue. What do you want to be known for? What is the lens in which you want to share your perspective frequently? It is one of the most effective ways to build marketing assets. And in a world right now where people need high touch, high access, high results, if you ever listen to my podcast, which I invite you to do, I want you to know not a single episode is edited. We record the whole thing end to end, so you're really clear when you get into a room with me that you're going to get exactly me. And that's either going to be the right thing for you or the wrong thing for you, and I don't want it to be a maybe. So podcasting is your best platform to share your opinion. And I said it earlier, you get hired for your opinion. So podcasting, hugely valuable. And owning your own media is important. Don't rent space, own it. Let me ask a question, Michael, here. I get invited to present at a group meeting. I feel less comfortable at a group meeting. What's the best way to start the sale to a group of decision makers? First thing you need to do is ascertain they're a buyer. Okay, you want to say, and this is your observation skills. Marketing is observation. I'm observing this problem. Is it true? What are the consequences of that problem? And if I could show you a way to solve it, would you be curious enough to listen to me? That's the opening. Ascertain the problem, spark their curiosity, and get permission to share your opinion. Once you get that green light, the next piece of the puzzle is to have a strong opinion. You have to tell people, what do you think is required? And you want to ask, what do you like about that? Do you like it enough, and do you see it as valued enough versus your current reality? And if the answer is yes, the answer is clear. Do you have my permission to make you an offer? I think in a conversation, you always want to check the room. So if you think back to how I orchestrated today, because I model everything in here, what we do, how you experienced it is exactly what we teach our clients. You want to make sure that you are asking people along the way to make a decision. You're sharing your opinion, you're asking for feedback, you're asking for engagement, you're watching for the movement. And you want to be clear in your discussion, in your story, in your deliverable, that you've clearly said, I'm a must hire somewhere in it. Because then you can ask people, do you want to keep moving with me? Because if they don't want to keep moving with you, then they're not a buyer. Then in the entertaining reason you're there is to move a room to a lead, to qualified, to client. You want to know that early. So if you're in a group setting, make sure you've reviewed with the group leader what's accepted. What are the rules of engagement? How do I play within your framework? Then you want to see, do you have this problem? Do you want to solve it? What is the benefit? Do I have your permission to share some perspective? And you keep them moving. But even in that exercise, I took you through 8 steps because I'm trying to get the ZMOT moved fast. Yes. Don't guess what somebody wants. You say, you've hired me or brought me in or asked me, invited me to be speaking in your room. What do you want me to deliver? What result makes me as a hired speaker, and it doesn't matter whether cash moves here, there was commitment and value created from you speaking. You say, what can I deliver that is valued to your community so I know what to do? So we did this exact same thing with Iman, because Iman and I are strategic partners. He's been on my stages, I've been on his. I said, how best do I serve you? He said, this is what it needs to be. Needs to be the following thing. Becky reminded me of it. I said, absolutely, I'm clear to deliver what you need. In terms of, for me, speaking, the split between virtual and live, for me in my business, this is going to be shifting a lot in 2026, but I would say right now, 90% of my speaking is done virtually. And a lot of people are new to the world of virtual spaces. It's not something that was really lived in for them pre-COVID. I have Skyped, if you remember Skype, up until 12 weeks ago, it disappeared. I have Skyped every Sunday to my parents online. So I've spent a lot of years, almost 30, if I'm being honest, almost 30 years building relationships with my closest people, my family online. So I'm good in an online environment. Does a room move faster speaking in person to buying decisions? Yes, sometimes. More and more events, though, are in person. And when you go into a group, sometimes the benefit of an in-person thing is you can walk the room, build the room, find your safe havens that will support, nod, and encourage you if you're nervous, because we're always nervous, and it moves more quickly. But what matters more about virtual or in person is that it's a room full of buyers, and you're sure that it's a room you want to be in, because that's the selection process that's the most critical. If the goal of speaking is to do lead gen, because I think there's 2 types of speakers that like to hear their own voice and speakers that move leads. I speak to move leads. I speak to find clients. I speak to find my people. And yes, impact is made outside of it, but impact wasn't the number one goal. Movement was. What else? Any other questions? We're at the top of the hour. Did I miss any questions? Just taking a look here. Was this helpful? If it's been helpful, do me a favor, come connect to me and tell me what you learned. What steps are you taking? And book that call again. It's a golden opportunity for you to take it. You stayed in the room. It was worthwhile. Tell me why. How do I help? Oh, I love that. Thank you. Thank you, Sandra, for that beautiful comment. I want you to win. And I will tell you one final story, and then I will give you guys your time back. I never set out to build the business I have today. It never occurred to me so many people were struggling to find clients. You guys had a problem collectively, entrepreneurs. They said, Christine, you have a solution. Could you tell us how? And I'm like, I haven't got time. And they're like, I'll pay you. And I'm like, that's weird. And now I have a very successful global business. There was a market who had a known problem, who needed help, who was curious. I had to show up and be committed, and so did they. It's actually really simple. And Greg, you're feeling all comfortable again? Yes, you should be back. We should talk about working together. You need help. I love it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Becky, thank you for hosting us today. I hope it's been super beneficial for everybody here. Ignite your client growth. Build it in the next 90 days and repeat the cycle.
All right. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Christine. So much valuable information. And I'm beyond grateful for everybody that was here to join us today and your engagement. So many awesome questions. Highly, highly recommend the strategy call. You're just going to get that much more value out of it. We very much appreciate you taking your time to be here with us today. As a reminder, our EIN events are hosted weekly on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Looking forward to seeing everybody next time. Have an awesome day, everybody. Thank you.
Have a great one. See you soon.